I step on the scale of an examination room at Student Health, looking up and away from the digital number which had a yoke on my body and my sanity for too long. I am here for a routine checkup, but I still have to face an old ghost which haunts me in every mirror. Every time I accidentally look at the calorie count on a label, every time I buy clothes, every time I eat a meal in West Union. Simply choosing to eat has been an act of defiance for me over the past few years. And in this moment, I'm defying once again by choosing not to look at the scale. My nurse calls out my weight as she writes it down. Fuck. I am not what people think when they think eating disorder. I am not a walking skeleton. I'm an athlete, I have curves, and I am now eating regularly. It has been a few years since things were really bad. And while college gave me sort of a reset on that part of life, I still find myself being reminded of my old routines and triggers. Since coming to Duke, I've started going to the gym regularly. I avoid wearing tight clothes and looking at myself in mirrors, but for the most part, I'm able to work out effectively for my health and not to meet my goal fat percentage. I am in control. Or at least I thought I was. After 4 years of being in control of my thoughts, of my body, of my food intake, I've run across a few challenges recently. First has been learning how to fuel my physical activity. Being physically active has always given me a reason to eat, and eat healthily. I can't do what I want to do safely without having the fuel to do it. But as I stepped up my running regimen, just in time for a big race, I found out that I wasn't eating enough to support the calories I was burning on longer runs, and I was not eating enough for muscle repair, which was leaving me feeling tired and sore. I felt strange changing the kinds of foods I was eating to more carb and protein-rich foods. I swallowed harshly every time my plate of food was handed to me in West Union. But I felt relief while eating. It was happening. I was defying once again. I was fueling my body with no shame. I cried with joy when I finished my dinner for the first time. The second challenge has been Duke. I'd been feeling good about my eating habits for the first time in a long time. When I was eating enough to prepare for my race, this changed when I was confronted with my close friends who were not eating so well. I've only had a few grapes today. I'm not hungry. I had a slice of bread this morning. I've had nothing today. I'm not gonna finish this. I don't know what I ordered. I'm not even hungry. In all these cases and many others similar to them, my friends were not eating due to being busy and stressed about school. These declarations of running on little food typically accompanied statements about how little they slept, how much work they had to do, and how many hours they had been studying. When one person proclaims their poor well-being during midterm season, others jump in to trump their experiences. Oh yeah, I had 2 hours of sleep the night before, and I still aced the final. One after another, bragging about their good grades and their poor physical state. Classic Duke. I sat there silent and began to second guess everything I had eaten that day. Maybe I should skip lunch. It's okay. I'll just drink a lot of water before my run. Of course, my other friends would butt in and encourage them to get some more sleep, bring snacks, etc. I tried doing that, but it just became too exhausting. I was already trying to get myself to eat dinner. I absolutely did not have the emotional energy to push these intense studiers to eat a granola bar every now and then. Simply being around these discussions was panic-inducing. And I felt my toxic thoughts start to spiral. I finally snapped one day. I've only had like a banana today. Stop! Please just eat a fucking meal. I will bring you a meal myself. Please just stop making light of how little you eat and sleep. I just can't listen to it anymore. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't realize I did that so often. When I asked an alumni friend of mine what she disliked most about Duke, she said, I always felt like if I wasn't suffering, I wasn't doing enough or working hard enough. It was scary feeling like I could never relax or take care of myself without feeling guilty. It makes me wonder when all this unhealthy signaling even started, and if it will ever go away. I still hear this talk all the time, and when I do, I try to walk away or put in earbuds and immediately make a plan of when and what I'm going to eat so I don't go slipping back into old habits. I can't afford to signal how much I'm suffering. I cannot brag about how little I had eaten that day. I needed to eat regularly to maintain my grip on my sanity and to stay in control of my own healthy body image. I don't care if that means that I sound like I'm not working hard, but trying to stay healthy, both mentally and physically, as well as going to school here, is enough of a challenge. Living with an eating disorder is a daily effort that only gets tougher when I hear this toxic language around me. So if you haven't eaten a meal yet today, eat a goddamn meal.